would a covered arena help you? If you want to know how I sold you one horse and paid for the entire arena kit with just one check, in my new online training courses, I'm going to share with you exactly step by step how I take a horse from prospect to the entire arena.
Yeah, I think it's working. Apology, but
It's okay.
let me just make sure.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
It's working. Hello, guys. Hey, everybody. We're going to try this again. My nephew, Owen, is a genius. He's a genius. We've been trying to connect Restream, this software, so that I could actually go live from multiple platforms at one time. Okay, let's get started. Happy Saturday, everybody. Who wants to win a brand new American hat? Did you use a new American hat? I have plenty of hats, but hey, what's another one, right? I'm so excited. There are so many cool things happening at Stall High right now. And we talked to Keith Mundy yesterday at American Hat Company, and he agreed to come on as a sponsor of our next online event, which is all about spurs. It doesn't matter if you have been using spurs your whole life like me, and you feel very vulnerable riding a horse without them, or if you've never even tried spurs, or maybe you've tried them and you don't really like them. We're going to help people understand how to use their spurs properly with less pressure to get an even better result from your horse. So I'm really excited about this new online clinic. 0 diesel required, no travel experiences, takes 2 hours on July 16th. That is next Saturday from 1 to 3 o'clock. It's too hot to be outdoors anyway, working horses, so we put it in the middle of the day. The clinician is James Davison, and he is our coach at Stall High every Wednesday night, and he is absolutely brilliant. You talk about a horseman, he is a fantastic problem solver, but he has trained so many horses in his lifetime that he really has a gift to articulate what's happening, what is really at the root issue of our horses' problems or our hangups. Some horses don't really have a problem, but they're kind of stalled. They're kind of, we can only get them so far, and it seems like the plateau. Well, we have a whole team of coaches now at Stall High for our members. There's a membership called Interactive, where you can actually join a Zoom, kind of like this one right here, every weeknight at 6 p.m. And we help our members. And it's really cool now to see our riders start to have these breakthrough moments with their horses. I woke up this morning, first thing I did when I opened my phone, I opened up a text message from one of our members, Cheryl in Florida. She can train a horse, and she's got this really cool little mare that she's been winning the 1D on. Sometimes she would win by half a second, but the mare, she could just feel sometimes she would get a little heavy on her shoulder, and she was kind of learning to anticipate those turns. So she came to our clinic last month called Stop the Drop, and it was all about a horse's shoulder, because just don't do that. It's backfiring, and you already know that. It's definitely handicapping your horse. If it's not causing a problem, it's definitely keeping your horse from the fullest potential. So she came in and stopped the drop. Well, her horse just started making immediate improvement, progress, very clear progress. And she went to a race last night. We had made a couple of adjustments this week, talking through it in class. And it put goosebumps on my kneecaps to watch that horse run. It was just like silk. And Cheryl just sits so eloquent. Like, it looks like she's not doing anything. And that's the beauty of it. You get to do less as a rider and train your horse, then trust your horse to do what we pay them to do and expect them to do. So they're both much happier now. And I'm just really excited about everything that's happening at Stall High. And now that I can stream live on multiple platforms at one time, I can share all these cool things. So that was a clinic we did last month called Stop the Drop. The next one is the online spur clinic. Here's my promise to you. Whether you've never used spurs in your life, whether you've tried them and you felt like your horse didn't like them and they didn't work, or whether you're like me and you've been using spurs since, you know, you could walk. I bet there's something you didn't know about them. I was recently challenged on my spur choice and the way I position my boot in the stirrup. And it's worked pretty dang good for me. I've trained a lot of horses. I've been blessed to win money at a lot of big rodeos in the nation and been able to get in the top 15 on multiple occasions. So I really thought I knew plenty about spurs. And I don't like being wrong. I'm sure we can all agree on that. It kind of sucks to be wrong. But what I dislike even less is finding out that I limited my horse's truest ability, or I potentially harmed my horse. So I sure don't want to stand in my horse's way just for lack of knowledge, lack of wisdom. And that's what Stall High is doing for me. Not only am I a coach, I'm one of the 5 coaches and I teach every Tuesday night, but I'm also a benefactor. I'm learning from the other coaches. I'm learning from the other discussions every night and the things that are happening at Stall High. It is going way beyond my initial vision and it's happening so fast. So I would love for you to be a part of it. If you are curious how spurs can impact your horse in a good way. See, James Davison, he's our clinician at this online spur clinic. He called me out a few weeks ago. He was watching me ride. I sent him one of my videos as well as Matt Reeves, because we call him Matt Rodeo Google Reeves because he knows more about rodeo today than, you know, anybody I have right here in close contact to. He just rattles off numbers and places and statistics, and he knows how to get you to the NFR. So he watched the video. James watched the video. Ronnie Clampett watched the video. Vin Johns. All of our coaches have been watching my videos of this mare this year. She's in the trailer, by the way. We're headed to Mesquite right now. We've got slack at 1 o'clock. Well, James challenged what I had on my feet. He challenged my spurs, and I thought, what are you saying, mister? I've been using spurs my whole life. I don't like to ride a horse without them. I just don't. I feel like in the event that I need them, I don't want to be without them. I would rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them. Type yes if you agree. So when he said something about my spurs and my boots, I thought, no, I've got that covered, thank you. But then I had to chew on it a minute, and I came back and I said, can we circle back to that? What were you meaning? And he watched me ride on camera, and he made one simple adjustment of my boot in the stirrup, and he told me to change one little thing about my spurs. And oh my heavens, my mare, we were doing flat work, so we were doing indirect circles or counter arcs, some people call them. She went from being really broke, like real nice, she's a good mare, super willing, big heart, plenty capable, being very soft in her counter arc, to even softer and reaching even further. And she didn't get mad, she didn't swish her tail, she didn't pin her ears. It was just like this like drastic improvement. And I was like, how have I missed that my whole life? How has this impacted me? And see, this mare, she's finished, but she's not fully seasoned yet. I started taking her to some pro rodeos last year. I've hauled her to a few this year. She loves the second barrel. That is by far her favorite. But sometimes she would start to anticipate a little early, and it seemed like she was just kind of compressing her stride and starting to slow down way too early. I needed more momentum, like I needed to push her shoulders forward so that she could clear the barrel. Because if she ever hits a barrel, which is very rare for her, but it's typically the second, And so I made this little adjustment in my spurs like James Davison told me to. And the next rodeo was Glade Water, and you could absolutely feel it. I didn't do anything more. In fact, I did less. And it was just so easy. Just whew. She had plenty of clearance going through the second barrel. It was a lot faster. It was smoother. Her feet weren't as choppy. And now looking back on that, I have to question myself. Had I known this information sooner, could I have made it to the NFR already? See, I tried for a lot of years, and we got close for a lot of years. We could get ranked in the top 15 in the world, but it's one thing to get ranked in the top 15. It's another thing to stay there all season. That is a grueling challenge, and my hat's off to the men and women that get it done and qualify for the national finals. That's still very much a goal of mine. I would love to get there and enjoy that still in my career, even though I've spent more time on this laptop these days than I do in the saddle, just everything going on with stall high. But it was just really awesome to see how that one little missing link that I didn't know made such a big difference in my horse. So I'm very excited to share that with you guys. If you want to know what you're missing at Stall High, this next clinic is, it's going to be July 16th. That's next Saturday from 1 to 3. And you're going to save, if you order your ticket online right now, you're going to save $200. So instead of a $247 entry fee, you're going to get in right now if you pre-purchase, because they're on pre-sale for $47. And you'll go to stallhighclinics.com, and that's plural, stallhighclinics.com. That is your online entry form. And thank you, Keith Mundy at American Hats, because we've added an American hat, so you have a chance to win that at this online spur clinic. Paul Taylor Saddle Company has donated 2, not 1, but 2 sets of spurs and spur straps. If you want to see them, the picture is at stallhighclinics.com. We've got some other great sponsors coming on board, so we'll be adding prizes throughout the week. So it's going to be a fantastic time. You just, you never know what you don't know until you know, you know? I love how Donna K. Rule says it. She says, I'll never know as much as I want to know. So we love you, Donna K. And for everybody out there rodeoing hard this summer, we're just in your corner and would like to be with you. I'm on my way to Mesquite. That's pretty local for me. But guys, I'm telling you, if you're on the road or not, we make it simple for you at Stall High. Join the clinic. It's online, and it'll be a private group, so you do have to purchase your ticket to attend. And like I said, you will learn more in 2 hours about spurs than most horsemen will ever know in their entire career. You just don't know what you're missing until you find out. And if it potentially is leaving not just a few $1,000s, but a few $100,000 or even a few million in the pen, because you just think, you know, you just assume because you've been using one tool your whole life that you know everything about it. Please don't make the mistake I made, because it might have already cost you a world title or a trip to the top 15, staying in the top 15. I'm convinced, had I known this one thing sooner in my career, it would have at the very least doubled my revenue training and selling horses as many years as I did. Stallhighclinics.com, and I will see you there at the online spur clinic next Saturday at 1 o'clock. All right, guys, I'm going to have Owen punch us out here and hit the end button. Y'all have a great day. I'll see you on Stall High.